Second says, I legit think Day9 has not played Hades 1 now. There's hours of footage on my fucking YouTube. What are you... Why? Oh, please ban yourself from my chat. Morpholoth, no spoilers, no backseating, no... Generally speaking, unless I... Well, actually, not generally. Unless I explicitly say, hey, backseat actual legit question, how does this work? We never want it. We never want anything.
Prophecies about me on the surface. If I were to complete
Morphalis says that was in the dialogue before going up, but okay. Oh my god. Okay.
How angry would they be?
I'm gonna be real blunt. I don't give a shit, okay? Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing about information processing and how things work in games and all this stuff. There is overwhelming data. There is overwhelming data. Let me actually answer this question before I go on my rant. Welligen says, then why ask? I'm not asking. I'm just sharing what I'm thinking. Morphalis says, all right, I'll leave. Listen, you can leave if you want, but I feel like I'm about to share something valuable that maybe you can take with you somewhere. I'm not sharing information about you. I'm sharing information about me. I don't want the information. I don't want any backseating. So when I say I don't want it, and you say, well, I mean, I have a justification for why I should do it, I just need you to believe that I don't want it. It's like if you said, hey, you want an extra beer? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then you just give me a beer. I'm like, don't do that. Well, you've drank beer before. Like, just believe me when I say that. Pretty please with sugar on top. Now, some of the reason why I don't want the backseating information is that there is overwhelming data that shows that if you give someone 40 pieces of information in a short period of time, they won't retain it. Not all of it. They'll retain some of it. And so when you're playing a game and there's various mechanics, explanations, and there's corner cases, even though it might be tell me one thing, wait a little bit, tell me one thing, wait a little bit, tell me one thing, wait a little bit, and so on and so on and so on and so on. There are times when I'm not retaining things because I am not 100% focused, dialed in, trying to memorize everything. Even if I was, overwhelming data shows that I will not be able to retain everything with perfect clarity. But moreover, I'm just missing shit because I'm a normal human being. There's a lot of lore and world building and stuff like this, and often I want to get back to the game. So even if it was presented to me, I might skip past it. Similarly, the game might have presented to it and I might have gone, I understand that, and then I just forget. These are all very human, normal things. And I will be, again, to be overwhelmingly clear, the issue is not that the game didn't tell me and I'm mad at the game and I'm criticizing the game. That's not the issue. I'm talking all about how human brains work. Now, something I find fun is figuring shit out. Even if it's shit that was told to me. Sean, you'll get elemental boons that will improve abilities. Okay, I think I get that. Q 1 hour later. Wait, holy shit, these boons, these elemental boons improve these powers. Wow! And that feels cool. That feels good. That feels positive. So I say no backseating for UI, for in-game information, for strategy, for tips, for nothing. For absolutely nothing. I want nothing at all. I want no information because, in a sense, it is a way to take my fun away. So Megfret says, sir, the other guy just asked why you were bleeding. Guy just answered, no need to overreact this way. I mean, this is not an overreaction. This is a reaction. In fact, it's not even a reaction. I'm just clarifying that I don't want backseating on this channel. That's what's happening. Crusader Kraus is the irony. He probably already left and didn't want to hear. That's totally great because that's another way to solve that problem. And for anyone that is here, it helps clarify where the fun's coming from for me. So for instance, for those of you that are sitting here hanging out, I might go, what the fuck? Why am I taking damage? Holy shit. And then you can go, oh my God. Oh, wow. When he figures out, that's going to be fucking hilarious. Great. And then you have an opportunity to needle me later. And that's pretty fun. That's pretty fucking awesome. And also, sometimes I'll go, hey, actual backseating question, how does this work? And then people will say, and I'll go, oh, awesome, great, terrific. Like, you know, furthermore, there's this thing that I've encountered a lot. Oh, Morpholoth, yeah. So you've definitely seen a bunch of things like this as well. Heard me go on these rants before.
Princess, that I am not at liberty to give advice.
But yeah, game mechanics, how things function, so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, pretty much nothing. And I will generally go, hey, actual backseating question. And for those of you that occasionally feel smited, I will note, we will always err on the side of timing out, clarifying. Because, I mean, what is you get your message deleted, and then you can talk 15 seconds later and so on. It's not actually a punishment. It's more like the message gets deleted, then I don't see it, then great. Then I can actually have my nice game.
In other words, we shouldn't be talking about this at all.
And to be clear, Morpholoth, you have just been eminently fucking reasonable. You've gone, hey, you said it, and I clarified the thing that happened 8 seconds ago, so there you go. So if you don't want that, cool. Like, you've been unbelievably fucking reasonable this entire time. But some people do get really unreasonable. They're like, well, dude, what the fuck do you expect me to do? And I'm like, I don't know, literally listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth and believe them? Because at no point am I going, you need to have read my mind and to have understood that. How dare any of you not have read my mind and understood that precisely? We literally have a mod command because we know we'll have to repeat it so fucking much. But there is this kind of personality where there's like, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And they're like, well, dude, I think it would really be beneficial for you. And I'm like, cool. So can I tell you? No, I'm good. Dude, what the fuck? Like, you're not missing it. Like, I'm not hurt. I'm not doing it to fuck with you, man. I just am having fun playing a game. Dude, Morpholoth, oh my god, I know the exact video you're talking about. You're saying, this whole thing is like that video of the woman that skateboards and the guy goes, may I give you advice? She goes, no thanks. And he just won't relent. She's like, please leave. Yeah, or the woman who's golfing and like doing her swing. She's like a professional golfer, and this guy's like, you're standing wrong, you gotta like do this. And she's like, I'm good, I got it. And she has the patience of a saint. Me, I get confrontational immediately. I'm like, no, nothing! No! Because, like, in a more broad sense, one of the things that I am really interested in is how in communication and in social interactions, there are tiny little expectations that people place on each other and tiny little emotional asks that people are making all the time. So, for instance, let's say I walk out after a long day of streaming and I have all these fun experiences about streaming, and I go to my wife and I'm like, honey, can I tell you about what happened with Hades? You know, it's a very reasonable thing for her to say. Not right now, I'm reading. Isn't that a reasonable thing? No, let me finish a few chapters, and then I'll talk to you. And like, I'm really fucking hyped up and I'm really excited. Now this is something that has happened, not just with Brit, but with like tons of people. I'm like, oh dude, can I like call someone, hey, can I tell you about this thing? And they're like, no, I'm at work, is everything all right? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I'm just excited about a thing. And they're like, okay, well, I gotta go to work. Okay. Like, there's a little moment of, I don't want to say potential letdown, or I don't want to say it's a moment of letdown. It's a moment of potential, like, oh, but I wanted to share that, oh. And it's important that in that moment I can take care of myself, right? That I can go, oh, hey, Brit, can I tell you about Hades? And she's like, oh, I'm reading. And I'm like, cool, let me know when you're done. And then I can, like, take care of myself and not feel like a piece of shit until she's ready. And, like, there's like hundreds of those little things. Like, for instance, texting someone being like, hey, how have you been? They might not text back ever. Or they might take weeks. How do I make sure that I'm okay with that? All these little tiny asks. Hey, do you want to go to dinner sometime? Yeah, sure. How about this day? And they don't respond. I need to be okay with that. And there's even more dramatic ones, like I schedule a dinner with someone. I get there, it's like 6:50, we're scheduled at 7, and they text me and they go, dude, sorry, something came up. I can't make it. How do I just take care of myself so that I can sit there and be perfectly happy? This is a quote that literally from one of my friends who's amazing at doing this. And his literal words were, if someone calls me 1 minute before we have a scheduled dinner and I'm already there and they say they can't make it, I will sit there and be perfectly happy. And I when he said that to me, it felt like I'd been hit with the same axe I had in the last run. I was like, oh my God, he's just, yeah, why not do that? Because the inverse of what I'm saying is the little rationalizations we give to ourselves. So in reverse order, it would be like, dude, if you schedule at 7 p.m., what the fuck? At least show up. What an asshole. Ugh. Or, dude, Britt, I just had a long day of streaming and I want to share with you my stuff that happened in the day. Could you at least make some time for me? Like, there's all these kinds of things that people tell themselves in the moment to justify their anger or their irritation or that they're let down. And then instead, they're not taking opportunities to just, again, take care of themselves. They're trying to make someone else take care of themselves. And I constantly check in anytime I'm feeling irritated or like not in a big way, but just like a little bit like pissed off or kind of sad or like feeling, and it's just like, okay, how do I just like do what Tim said and just sit there and be perfectly happy? Like that is like, I don't know, I think that's like a fucking key to unlocking a pleasant life. Indestructible says something, dinner example is kind of different because, you know, it's someone who's disrespecting their time. Yeah, no, I do agree. It's a much more severe version of this kind of, because I scheduled time, I went there, oh, what the fuck, you know? But I still think that the overarching point is that instead of having this boundary where if it's something that's minor, I will figure out how to take care of myself. But if it's more than minor, I'm not going to figure out how to take care of myself. I'm not saying that's what you're suggesting. I'm saying that this is something that people do, you know? And so, I don't know, I think that's interesting. I think the backseating thing is a fascinating, continuous entry point for this because I see so many different forms of someone demanding that I listen to them, demanding that I do something, and it's like this whole range of negative self-reactions. Like, hey, can I give you some advice? No, thanks. Anger I see sometimes. Dude, what the fuck? But you're fucking up. I see pleading. Dude, no, but I really have something that would really help. Please. I hear this sort of sadness. Oh, well, I don't know why you stream if you don't want to hear what people think. You know, I guess I don't fucking matter. You know, like all these sort of things. I also see people that just lead with the aggression. Dude, what in the fuck are you doing? You need to do this. At Day 9 TV, do this. At Day 9 TV, caps lock, Day 9, do this. Hey, you need to calm down. Oh, how can I be calm if you're not using your magic wand? You know, I don't know. All that stuff I think is really interesting.